Hi all. I wanted to talk with you about how to find a wife or a girlfriend. So, so, I must start off by telling you something. Sorry, I'm wearing this green goo, ladies. I know you probably think I look like some ugly, ugly buffoon. I hope I'm not swearing. I apologize if I'm swearing. Some other ladies will be probably looking at me probably looking at me thinking, "Oh." That's a joke. And and the blokes will probably be thinking, oh, this this guy needs to need this guy needs to fire down his ears. These whoppers. Yeah, I won't go on. So yeah, that's my joke for now anyway. So yeah, so basically, you know, I'm basically still single at the moment, but I know things are happening with me. Things might be happening soon. I just need to know how to control. I know how to control my. Sorry, not my. I'm not trying to accept it. I shouldn't. You shouldn't. No human being should accept their illnesses, regardless of whatever it is. Whether you got your legs cut off, any part of your body's cut off, or any kind of illness, because God can always heal it. And you might be thinking to yourself, how can God heal me when my legs are chopped off? But God can do anything. Don't limit God. If you limit God, you'll lose your blessing. So yeah, basically, how to find a wife or a girlfriend. Basically, what the biggest hint I can give to you is basically just to look around. When I say look around, I don't mean like just go out there hunting any man or woman on the streets. What I mean is just look around who you socialize with on a regular basis. Look 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 around and see the ladies or men you hang around with. Have a look and see whether you get on with them well. You don't argue with them. If you get on with them and you don't argue, then obviously you could probably hook up something. You can get connected, get something going maybe. And sometimes it's good to be fussy about what partner you choose, but sometimes it's not good to be too fussy. There is no such thing as a perfect partner, because a woman's never going to be perfect in our own eyes as men. No woman will be perfect in our own eyes as a man. And it's the same with a man. No man is going to be perfect for a woman in a woman's eyes. It's a development thing that needs to happen in the relationship, that will progress slowly and but surely, with patience and without shouting at each other. Yeah, so I thoroughly don't recommend dating websites, because they're no good. But it's up to you. Do whatever God guides you on doing, or do whatever the Holy Spirit tells you, or gently tells you, because God always directs us gently. God doesn't force us to choose anything. He doesn't twist our arm behind our back and say, oh, do this, do that, you must do this, you must do that. It's not a rule and reign thing. It's not a boss about thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, so sometimes we have to give these things time as well. Just have patience. I think in some ways, the longer we wait, the better the reward. And yeah, and sometimes one of the things that I've heard things like on a bus, like people. It's mainly the man I've noticed it with. I'm not, sorry, not mainly the men. I noticed it with one man on to his other friend. With It was two guys, and they were talking to each other, and this one guy just said, I'm not gonna let a woman talk to me like this and that. It's not really about if somebody has that mentality of like, I'm not gonna be treated this way. I'm not gonna be treated that way. I'm not gonna let a man or a woman talk to me like that. If you ever have that mentality or that character of saying, I'm not gonna let no one talk to me like that. I mean, it's fair enough. It's fair enough that we all every human being needs to be treated in the right way, in a good way. Obviously, not without being taken advantage, not being taken advantage of all the time, but be kind and just be considerate of the other person. But what I'm saying is, if one person is not gonna take basically not gonna put up with at least once or twice, like maybe once or twice in a month or once every other month. I'm just giving a rough guide. I'm not saying it's going to be like that, definitely, but just once in a while, being able to accept, being able to accept a spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend to make a mistake and say something wrong, because in a relationship somehow somebody's gonna make a mistake. Somebody's gonna make a mistake on what they say to the other partner. Somebody's going to say something wrong that the other partner is not going to be happy about, the way how they've been treated or been spoken to. But if we come into a relationship thinking that I'm never going to be treated this way or that way, I'm not going to have this happen, I'm not going to have this happen to me, I'm not going to have that happen to me. It's not really a relationship. It's not all about me all the time. We have to be selfless. We have to think about the other partner. I'm basically just repeating what I've heard from experts and other relationship experts and people that have already been in a that I've already been in a relationship, sorry, that's already in a relationship, I should say, not been in a relationship. So yeah, so that's so like I said, look around you. When I say look around you, I mean look at your social life and see if you're hanging around with the opposite sex a lot or a reasonable amount. Just look around where you live, where you socialize, where you hang out, where you go dates on a day-to-day basis, whether it's at work, a social, whether it's at work, a place where you go to socialize after work, church, at home where you live, if there's any ladies or other men there living with you, or living in a different area, from you, because you could be living in a residential home, and you can still be in a relationship with somebody, but obviously only if you're comfortable with doing it, if the Holy Spirit guides you, or if you feel uncomfortable in the spirit of if you feel uncomfortable about not being in a relationship with that person where you're living at, then don't do it. But if you feel comfortable about doing it, being in a relationship with that person, in a residential home, if you feel comfortable about it, then that's fine. Just do what the Holy Spirit tells you. But if you're not a Christian already, then just do whatever you think is right, whatever you believe is right. But I'm sure in some ways, if you like that person, then you won't regret it. If you have a good relationship with that person or a good friendship with that person, then you won't regret it. The decision you make, that's if you pardon me, that's if you've been called to be in a relationship, because some people are not born to have relationships. Some people are born to be single. They want to be single. They're happy being single. Not everybody wants to be in a relationship. Some they call it eunuchs, people that don't want to be in a relationship. And a eunuch is basically just abstaining from marriage and sex. And a eunuch, sometimes the eunuch is not from our own doing. Sometimes it can be from somebody, it can be from abuse, like basically from when somebody decides that, like a criminal decides to so I must have apologize in advance, because I'm going to be a bit graphic. I'm going to be a bit graphic with my explanation. What it is, for some women in their I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is in their body. I don't know where it is in their body. They can like not feel the desire to be with that opposite person, with that opposite sex. And for a lady, I mean, but I don't know how that works out. But with sometimes with a man, even when they got the full growing body parts, you know, as a man, they still don't really want to. They don't. When they got a full growing male parts, they don't desire to be with that other person or be in a relationship. But sometimes, this might be very, very rare, but sometimes men's private parts, especially when people abuse them, like holding them to a gunpoint. Sometimes a man's private, not the private parts, but the testicles, the man's testicles can be cut off completely. Both the testicles can be cut off completely, and that will sometimes I think in some ways it might have an effect on them, whether they want to be in a relationship, or not. But I could be wrong on that, because I can't really answer for that. But there is a possibility. So yeah, but it might not be down to the fact of their testicles being chopped off. It could be down to other things as well. So yeah. So basically, I find it in the Bible where it talks about eunuch, where Jesus talks about eunuchs. So it says here in Matthew, in the New King James Version, NKJV, where it says in Matthew 19 verse 12, it says, for there are eunuchs who were born thus from their mother's womb, and there are eunuchs who were made eunuchs by men. This is about the abuse. Which is what I was explaining to you earlier. But I'll spell eunuchs in a minute. Just one moment. And it says in comma, and there are eunuchs who have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He who is able to accept it, let him accept it. So I just spell the eunuch, which is spelled E-U-N. So that's E-U-N-U-C-H-S. basically when it talks about accepting it, you have to, it's always down to you when it comes to accepting being single or not. It's totally up to you. But don't let me influence you at all on whether you want to be in a relationship. But it's completely up to you. It's completely down to you. If you don't want to be in a relationship, you know, if you don't want to be in a relationship, be happy being single. But if you want to be in a relationship, be happy being in a relationship. If you desire to be in a relationship, then be in a relationship. It's totally up to you. But if you don't want to be in a relationship, then don't be in a relationship. That's totally up to you as well. I'm not writing, I'm not trying to, I'm not just doing this, I'm not doing this video because, you know, I fancy, you know, populating the world with more kids. It's not, this is not what I'm about. I'm just here to just to help anyone, help the viewers, whether they want to find another a partner, I should say, a partner, and get into a relationship. So yeah, that's really all I have to say for now. So God bless, take care, and peace be with you, and peace.